Well, thank you all very much for exposing the illegitimacy of the entire process designed to ram Judge Barrett through as the next Supreme Court Justice. Thank you all very much on behalf of many millions of Americans. Now, I don't have to tell you that it is wrong to push a nominee through in the last weeks and months of a president's term. I don't have to tell you that because the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Lindsey Graham, good Republican, has already told you that. As Lindsey Graham said in opposing President Obama's nominee, Merrick Garland, in 2016, quote, "I want you to use my words against me. If there is a Republican president in 2016 and a vacancy occurs in the last year of the first term, you can say," Lindsey Graham said, quote, "let the next president, whoever it might be, make that decision." Well, you know what? I don't often agree with Lindsey Graham. But on this one, he's right. So I say, let the next president, and I have great confidence that that next president will not be Donald Trump. Let that next president, whoever it might be, and I suspect it'll be Joe Biden, make that nomination. Now, I again don't have to tell you why this seat on the Supreme Court is so important, but let me just give you a few examples. All across this country, in an incredibly shameful way that goes beyond issues, that goes beyond politics, the Republican Party is engaging in massive voter suppression. They are doing everything that they can to keep young people, poor people, people of color from participating in the political process. And that is an outrage beyond belief. Just this week, just a few days ago, as some of you may know, the Supreme Court, by deadlocking in a 4-4 tie, allowed Pennsylvania to continue counting mail-in ballots until November 6th. A rather common sense decision. Every vote must be counted, not a radical idea. That's what democracy is supposed to be about. That decision was rendered by a 4-4 vote. I have very little doubt that if Judge Barrett becomes a member of the Supreme Court, she will side with the right-wing majority and vote against voting rights in the United States of America. But it's not just voting rights that we're talking about. We're talking about fundamental issues that impact tens of millions of people, like Social Security and Medicare. When she was questioned by the committee, Judiciary Committee, and asked whether she thought that Social Security and Medicare were constitutional, she could not give a clear answer. Can you imagine when you have a program like Social Security that has been on the books for over 80 years, that tens of millions of people depend upon in order to stay alive, to have any kind of dignity when they get old and when they're disabled? She is not quite clear whether Social Security is constitutional, whether Medicare is constitutional. I have very little doubt, hope I'm wrong, but I have very little doubt that if Judge Barrett sits on the Supreme Court, and when that case comes before the Supreme Court as to the constitutionality of the Affordable Care Act, I suspect she will be on the wrong side of that decision, putting in danger the health care of over 20 million Americans. I have very deep concerns that if Judge Barrett is on the Supreme Court, she will be voting with a majority to overturn a woman's right to control her own body in terms of Roe v. Wade. Now, I happen to believe that it is a woman and not the government who has a right to control her own body, but I don't believe that that is what Judge Barrett believes. And on it goes. So we are assembled here today to tell Lindsey Graham, to tell the Republican majority, remember what you said when Obama was president, that it is wrong for a nomination to be pushed through in the last months of a president's term. By the time that nomination is going to be voted on in the Senate, tens and tens of millions of people will have voted for a new president. And those people have a right to allow that new president to decide and to nominate who the next Supreme Court nominee will be. Thank you all. Keep up the great work.
You should be president, Bernie.